Let's bring in someone who still believes in RIM. Paul Taylor is a portfolio manager with 25 years of investment experience. He's Senior Vice President and Chief Investment Officer at BMO Harris Private Banking in Toronto, RIM's backyard. Welcome to Bloomberg West, Paul. So first of all, is RIM stuck in the past?
Well, it is, in that its product portfolio is clearly, the market is providing that feedback, and the stock market is recognizing that its product portfolio is just not up to snuff, you know, with its key competitors. Obviously, the iPhone, the Google Android devices are very rich in functionality, and RIM, as I think you mentioned in the outset, 6 months, you know, from a product development perspective, is light years, you know, in this market. So there is no doubt their product portfolio is woefully inadequate, which is why it's so alarming to see the guidance today. I mean, it's the recognition that if we don't get the launch of 2 or 3 or 4 upgrades to the suite of smartphones before the end of Q2, there'll be no contribution in Q2, and them get anywhere close to their previously stated guidance of $7.50 is just not on. So this is a level set for the company in terms of hopefully realistic guidance, you know, with full year earnings of $5.25 to $6. But, you know, we, like everyone, you know, we need to see that, in fact, they're going to hit their timeline for functionality-rich devices for later this summer, in time for the back-to-school season, and in time for the, you know, the Christmas rush and all that.
So, Paul,
but it's definitely been tough.
Paul, I guess the next question is then, why are they behind? There have been a lot of questions about RIM's management. I want to let you take a listen to a quote from an analyst at Aberdeen Group. Take a listen.
But from my perspective, what's lacking is clarity of vision and strategy, sort of a separation of operations and strategy. And so from arm's length, it would make sense to separate those roles. It seems to be a little bit too much of an ivory tower, or almost too incestuous in terms of its perspective. And I would say that they could use some fresh perspective.
Fresh perspective. Paul, do you think that the co-CEOs of RIM, that one or both of them, needs to step down?
Well, I would disagree with the comments of the analysts. I don't think it's strategy. I think it's execution. So you know, I don't think execution really is a question of the co-leadership, you know, in terms of CEO. I think it's a question of figuring out why there isn't why execution has been such a stumbling block, and we need to get at that and hold those accountable, you know, and then move on. But I know there's been a lot of discussion related to that. Absolutely, we need to hold both, you know, co-CEOs responsible for the fact that this company, unfortunately, has not hit the targets that they've needed to hit to maintain, you know, the confidence that the street has, you know, in management's ability to execute on its business plan. The strategy is clear, and that is to offer, you know, functionality-rich smartphones into the market, both domestically and abroad. It's just a question of execution. That's what they need to do.
Paul, I want Cory to weigh in now. Cory, your thoughts?
Yeah, Paul, when you look at this company, is it really just a one-trick pony? Is it a company that was good at email and hasn't been good at anything else?
Well, it's, okay. Email is obviously they're iconic, you know, in terms of their push email technology and security, in terms of taking that to the next level, taking that from an enterprise solution to the consumer market, and being successful and resonating there with the functionality-rich features that they require. The answer is yes. They're unproven in that regard. One trick pony. I don't know if I'd use that, but you know, yes, the market is right in being from Missouri to some extent. In looking for the company to show us that, in fact, in the all-important consumer market, they can offer a product that keeps up, not just keeps up, that is seen to be a leader along with the other two market leaders. And the point I would make, you know, is valuation-wise, this is still a stock that is very cheap. That the structure in the industry is not going to be a duopoly. It's going to have other players, and RIM has the potential to be one of those players.
you wonder when they'll see that. I mean, what's it like up there in Canada? You mentioned Missouri, but you're in Toronto. I mean, Waterloo, the headquarters of RIM, right down the road. I mean, you've seen Nortel get completely destroyed, one of the great technology leaders of the past. Now Research In Motion really stumbling. What's the view like there from a sort of corporate business standpoint? I mean, to see one of the great companies in technology in the world, a local company really falling apart, it's got to be heartbreaking.
Well, you know, hey, let's give them credit. I'd say one of the perspectives we have is that I do believe that the company hasn't been given the respect that it deserves, you know, south of the border. The number of folks that have completely bailed on Research In Motion. I think there is a big dividing line at the border. I think we do have you know, a lot of respect for the team in Waterloo, and at the end of the day, you know, the challenge is ahead of them, and you know, we, like everyone, will wait to see if they're up to that challenge.
Paul Taylor of BMO Harris Private Banking, thank you so much for your thoughts.